These are some dangers of
dating older men will always bring up red flags.
I don't know who the fuck need to hear this, but baby, dating older men is not the fucking solution.
Let's talk about the dangers of dating the older man.
Hello guys, it's your girl Rachel Daniels again. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today our topic is very interesting. We'll be talking about large or wide age gap relationship. You know, men in their 50s dating ladies in their 20s. We'll talk about the downside. We'll talk about, we'll listen to experiences of ladies who have been in their shoe and how they felt running through that relationship. So I've come up with a lot of video clip for you. I would like you guys to sit back, watch. Once we're done, I would come back and give my opinion on what I think about large or wide age gap relationship. Please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you at the end of the video.
Dating older men will always bring up red flags. They've already experienced so much heartbreak. They've already, there's a lot of baggage that's coming with it already. So for sure, you're going to get heartbroken at some point, or they're going to fuck up. Dating younger men for women is a plus because this man will treat you like he's everything. Because he doesn't necessarily have traumas. He's not necessarily experienced heartbreak. Ile moyo inauma, you know? Yeah, exactly. And he's looking up to you like, oh my God, she's my everything, you know?
I don't know, because I feel like I agree with you in the terms of older men being heavily traumatized. And also, I don't know if you've seen that thing where you can text an older man and they do not text with emojis. I do not know what the fuck that is about. Like, are you mad at me? Are you this? Can you articulate yourself? But
give me an emoji.
Just drop an emoji.
I don't know who the fuck need to hear this, but baby, dating older men is not the fucking solution, baby. It is not. Because them motherfuckers will show you real quick on why the fuck they single, okay? Them motherfucking older men be more childish than the young ones. You might as well stick to the young niggas. Fuck is you talking about? The only reason they single is because they done fucked around and fucked up with the motherfuckers in their age range, and everybody in their age range know that they is pieces of shit. So the next time that 30, 40, 50-year-old come up to you like, oh, baby, you so fine, no. Baby, they trying to get in that motherfucker, okay? They trying to get a piece of that young thing so they can feel young again. Because you already know they aging. They stressed the fuck out. Life done hit them. Menopause. Every motherfucker. They going through everything. Everything. And guess what? They gonna put their problems on you. On you. Oh, and if you do want to date an older man, don't try to act like you got all your shit together, baby. Get them motherfucking coins. Get them coins out his ass. Don't be trying to marry, date, all that because you think you found love. Fuck them older men. And this is coming from a 20-year-old.
Because these older men will sit there and play with you. They know that you're less experienced. That's why they're going for you. Don't go with the, oh, he says I'm so mature for my age. Bull. That is total bullshit. He's just going for you because you have less experience and it's going to be easy for him to manipulate you. And that's the truth. And I'm not saying all older guys are like that, but 8 out of 10 are like that.
When I was younger, I liked the idea of dating older men. And now as I get older, I get cringe when I see these older men trying to go for females half their age. And I've came to the conclusion that it's because women their age don't tolerate the BS that they want to put out to the world. Women their age are not keeping up with their nonsense, so they go to the younger girls that they can mold and manipulate because they're more naive. At this point, some of them even give me pervert vibes. This woman is just getting to know the world and you want to come into it and mess it up at her age? Girls, please don't fall for it.
To all my 20-somethings who are dating people 15 plus 20 plus years older than you, like 20-somethings dating 40-somethings, even 50-somethings. Let me tell you why dating these older folks is a bad idea. I know a lot of you 20-somethings who are dating 40-somethings and up, you feel like you struck the jackpot. You feel like, oh, this person has more resources than me. They have more experience than me. I'm about to win. I'm going to come up off of this. And they probably sell you on that too, saying, oh, let me guide you. Let me drop some jewels on you. Let me give you some information. But the reality of it is they're only going to give you enough knowledge to impress you and not to empower you. See, when you don't have a wealth of experience, knowledge, and maturity you can't really properly assess someone else's growth or someone else's progress, you know, because you're only really seeing life through the lens of a 22-year-old, a 23-year-old, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful phase of life. Every phase of life where you're still breathing and you're above ground is a beautiful phase of life because it's still life. You ain't dead yet. So I'm not saying that you don't have awareness or you're not smart enough to know shit from chicken shit. But what I'm saying is that there's a reason why you're more appealing to a 46-year-old man as a 22-year-old girl. Is you're still a girl, because in astrology, you're not an adult till you turn 28. The man-made law says at 18, you were able to run out in the world and run your own life. But you know, in the spiritual laws, no. So a 22-year-old girl, a 25-year-old girl, a 26-year-old girl is appealing to a 48, 50, 53, 54-year-old man because there's something in his life that he hasn't mastered per se. Yes, you're physically attractive, but at the end of the day, physical nature of a human being is just one portion of that human being. Two people can't just be in the bed laying horizontally naked all day. They have to talk. They have to exchange ideas. They have to bounce thoughts off of each other to determine, well, how can my ideas grow? How effective are my ideas? And really, if you are 2.5 decades younger than somebody, you probably cannot do that effectively or do that in a way where that person is really benefiting. So what that means is ultimately you're being used, whether you're being used to validate their ego, you know, they want to know if they still got it, you know, or you're being used so that they can run from whatever growth that life has been encouraging them to attain. They've been running or avoiding the reality that life has been showing them as they're getting older. So because you're not really aware of that and you don't have like I said, a wealth of maturity, depth to your experience, you can't really spot that or point that out. Are you going to learn a lot from somebody 15 years or 2 decades older than you? Hopefully. Hopefully it will be an enriching experience, but they're only going to drop enough knowledge and gems and jewels on you to impress you, not to empower you. Because if knowledge empowers you, then you might make a different set of decisions. You might start seeing when the math ain't math, and you might start seeing when, hey, wait a minute, I don't understand why this is going on because it contradicted when he said that. I don't understand when he did that, it contradicted this other action. And so, you know, ain't nobody going to give you no knowledge to turn you into no scholar. You know what I'm saying? Just enough for you to go, ooh, you know, he's so smart. She's so wise, you know, just enough for them to keep getting out of you what they need to get out of you. An older person may have more resources and has possibly attain more success in whatever professional endeavors or businesses to which they've committed themselves. So you thinking, okay, I like the nice fly clothes and the fly purses. An older person, they got that salary, they got that bag. So you think it's more of a come up. But at the end of the day, them throwing some coins at you to keep you around to just kind of draw sexual energy from you, or like I said, companionship, or, you know, flattering their ego. They'll throw some coins at you for a while, but in the end, you're not really impressive to them. They know that you're missing a lot. They know you're still under development. You're under construction. They know this. That should be a red flag to you when somebody who knows you're under construction is impressed by you. And another thing that you might not want to hear is that occasionally you're annoying to them. See, when you're in the earlier stages of adulthood, still under development, emotional, psychological development, you take things more seriously. You have more consistent, over-the-top emotional reactions to things. Things are usually more of a crisis to you. And older people, they're beyond a lot of that. They've already transcended, you know, that phase of life where everything is a 911 emergency. You know what I'm saying? So when you complain and, well, why is this? And what is that? And you show your 22, 23, 24-year-old emotional self. They don't tell you this, but they're annoyed. They're annoyed by you because they've already graduated from making everything into a drama series when it just doesn't need to be. That's just something that comes with age. So they're not telling you that. But yeah, you get on their nerves sometimes. You are better off dating someone in your own age bracket, in your own generation, and building with them than you are being a toy, a momentary toy for someone who needed to be reassured that they still got that flavor and they still lit out here in these streets. And, you know, they used you to just, you know, bow and praise and validate them, and, you know, maybe for sexual gratification too, because they know that's another thing. They've had many more years to be in the bed, so you're overly impressed by all of the experience they've acquired, you know. So now you're whipped and your mind is gone. It can be a really taxing experience when it's all said and done. And by the time you do learn a lot from the relationship, the do's, the don'ts, and you say, wow, this was a lot. You give your years to this person, you know, now they're 59, you know what I'm saying? You're 31, you know, maybe you have a kid by them or not, who knows? I don't know. But now you're ready to kind of withdraw from the situation and more than likely go deal with somebody who's more age appropriate after that experience. This happens all the time. I know people don't want to hear it. They say love is love, but you know, love entails empowering another person. Love entails doing what's best for another person, not just extracting from them and pulling from them what you need based upon your selfish desires. This phone ringing, getting on my nerves. So again, I'm not talking to somebody who's 22 dating somebody who's 28, or someone who's 22 dating someone who's even 26. Like, in your generation, that's fine. A couple years older, a couple years younger. I'm talking to the men and women in their 20-somethings who are dating these 40-somethings, Generation Xers, you know, who got kids that are your age. That's who I'm talking to. Something for you to ponder and think about before you give months or years or just any amount of time to these people who lived through what you're going through, and they know the level of growth that is on the table for you. And they won't step back, put their egos aside, put their desires aside, and do what's conscious and what's right.
Let's talk about the dangers of dating the older man. Story time. I was in a situationship a couple of years ago with a guy quite a bit older than me. Let's call him Chris. Chris was not only a tall, bilingual, and articulate guy, he was also a semi-wealthy STEM major at the best university in the entire country. Not to mention I was also a young teen living on my own, so Chris and I had an on and off situationship for a couple of months, and the one thing that I should have picked up on right away, besides the fact that his ego was inflated 3 times the size of Rhode Island, was that after meeting me once, and one time only, he promptly sat me down and gave me the lovely gift of a silver necklace worth my entire month's worth of rent. And as a young 17-year-old who barely had enough money in their bank account, I looked in awe and wonder at this big strong man with his American Express card that he waved around like a mating call. Now you may be thinking, wow, what a great guy. He gave such an expensive gift on this second time of meeting. He must love you so much. Because that's what I thought too, but the more time I spent with this guy, the more I realized that he thought he could pull out his black card and just watch my panties drop. The more that I begged for love, communication, and respect instead of Birkin bags and fancy dinners, the more I realized that this guy didn't love me. He had fallen in love with the way I made him feel. He didn't care about my worries, my thoughts, my hopes, or my dreams. He only cared about how much power he felt like he had over me. When I finally broke it off with him and he told me that I'm an ungrateful slut that will never get anywhere without a man, I realized that no man that tries to manipulate, coerce, and buy the body and love of a younger woman with a credit card and falsified air of superiority is worth my time. If I wanted to trade my body and time in exchange for a check, I would have gotten a pimp, not a boyfriend. So remember, if any man insists on showering you with gifts and love bombing early on in the relationship, that does not mean he's entitled to your body. That might just mean you have to girl boss a little bit more at work so you can afford that Birkin yourself.
And when you start dating them older women or older men, you realize why the fuck they're single at their grown-ass age. No one wants to deal with that bullshit. So, let me go talk to somebody who's young. Let me go corrupt them, because nobody my age is gonna put up with this bullshit.
These are some dangers of dating an older man. This is coming from someone that dated someone 20 years older than me, and I definitely paid a price for that. There are definitely some key things that I took away from this dynamic that I will never ever date an older man again. A lot of older men that are probably at least 20 years older than you, 30 years older than you, they go after young women specifically because young women don't have the same life experience as someone obviously in their age range, right? They know this and they love knowing how naive and how little life experience we have because it's easier for them to control you. They don't want to date a woman that is a little bit more mature and actually has had life experience because they don't want to have to combat or deal with a woman that actually knows her worth and like has her frontal lobe developed. Like they don't want that. They want someone compliant. They want someone that's actually just gonna do whatever that they say they like knowing that they're convincing you to be on their side of things because you don't know enough yet to even have your own opinion. It's really about a power and control dynamic. And especially if a man has been through so many relationships, he's like this bachelor and he's going after young women. In my opinion, that's definitely a red flag, especially if this man has never been married before and he's like in his 40s or 50s. Definitely I would take that with a grain of salt. Also, a lot of these men do tend to give you false hope and lie to you. Like they can say that they really want a serious relationship with you, but they know they're using like your good years. They're aware of that. So they'll give you false hope, but no commitment ever really comes. They'll dip their toe in a little bit, but not fully. You gotta be very careful with these types of guys. Also, a lot of these older men are not very emotionally mature. Even though they're older, that does not mean they are more mature. If anything, they're actually way more immature. A lot of these older men are very much stuck in their ways. Like there's no room for growth. Like it's either their way or the highway. There's no room for them to see your perspective. They want everything to go their way. That is why they want to date younger so that they can manipulate them into doing things that they want you to do. And they don't want you to say anything about it. And if you do argue, they're going to manipulate you to see their side and you're going to just do what they want. If you are going to date older, I say nothing more than 10 years because at least you'll be in the same life goals, life expectancies, a little similar. It's going to be a better dynamic.
Okay, so this is my opinion, right? When you date older men, some of them tend to bring in age into play. They tend to always make you feel that they are older. So you have to always listen to them. You have to always take their advice. They are always right. They look at it that they have a large experience and you don't have. So they tend to downplay you. They tend to make you feel as if your opinion is actually not right. They tend to make you feel as if they have to be the one in charge. They have to be the one taking all the decision while you just sit back and then listen to them. Also, they also make you feel as if they are doing you a favor, you know, um, for dating you. They're doing you a favor. They have the money because most times it comes off as you're dating them because of money. They really do not see any need for you because they've had so many experiences and they know how women relate per se. So they wouldn't want you to come. They wouldn't want to have they wouldn't want to have you feel like you are in charge. They like to dominate. That's the word. They like to dominate. They feed on the inexperience of the lady because they know she's in her 20s and she's not matured. She hasn't got a lot of life experience. They tend to dominate. And the truth is that when you're with an older man, right, you are very careful as to what you say. As to what you say, you wouldn't want to say certain things, you wouldn't want to joke in certain ways so that it doesn't come off to them as if you're disrespectful. They always like to dominate. They would always tell you sit here and then expect that by the time they are back donkey years, you will still be sitting where they want you to sit. And aside that, if you look at it, women their age would not want to date them. Why would they not want to date them? Or why would they not want to go for women their age? It's simple because they know that women their age know what they know. But the inexperienced one, the ones with the lower age range, is inexperienced, does not really know what they know. They feel they can ride on the lady's innocency. They can manipulate the lady. They can control her. They can make her do certain things their own way, and which is actually very, very bad. We can't be in a relationship where you dominate most of the conversation I can't joke or laugh with you in a certain way. I can't alter some sentence. Sometimes I just have to be mute, so that it won't be as if I'm coming off to you as being disrespectful. It's really very crazy. Well, that's why me, I don't really fancy older relationship. I fancy relationship whereby we could both, we could joke, we could laugh, we could play in certain ways, I'm free to express myself. I won't feel as if I'm being intimidated. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship where I feel intimidated, where I feel that I can express myself, where I feel that you have to be in charge. We can have healthy conversation, where I feel that you are just playing on my innocence, and that's just it. So you see those men who are in their 40s and 50s and have never been married, run from them. They are really, really red flag. I think during their youthful age, no woman could settle for them. That is why they are not married. And dating an older man, you have more cases of baby mama drama. You have more cases of them being married before, and most of them, whatsoever situation or things have happened in their previous marriage, previous relationship, they bring it into play in their new relationship. They would not want to be beaten twice because they know that women can't be funny. So this is just my 2 cents on this video. I would like you to drop your opinion in the comment section below. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until I come your way next time. Bye bye for now. Thank you for listening. Bye.